In 1953 we crowned our Queen, climbed Everest and drove around in cars like this Rover 60. Now they're classics, and this weekend you can see them and others at the National Classic Car Show. Over 300 vehicles will be shown by 90 owners' clubs at the National Exhibition Centre in Birmingham, all restored to showroom condition. But what counts as a classic car?
There's no laid-down law in it. It's not like the veteran cars which got to 1904 or the vintage cars from 1918 to 1930. It's essentially a post-war car, and the way we like to look at it is to say that you can have a classic of the 50s or a classic of the 60s, a classic of the 70s, and we really don't want any laid-down fixed years in which it has to fit, because that's not the name of the game.
The show's theme is all-time greats, cars like this Ferrari Daytona, which for years was the standard by which all other supercars were judged, with its 174 miles per hour performance. It was the last front-engine V12 Ferrari ever produced. But all-time greats don't have to be exotic or expensive. This Javelin, with its streamlined styling and 80 miles per hour top speed from a 1500cc engine, was one of the most advanced cars in Europe when it was launched in 1947. A Cortina 1600E is being shown by the Ford Executive Owners Club. That's the club which looks after all Ford's E models. This car was originally the company's publicity vehicle. But are the Cortinas and the Anglias, Imps and A35s in the show really classics?
Why not? We shouldn't be snobs about it, should we? If someone wants to restore any car, then he's fully justified in doing so. I don't think we should put him down for it. It may be that his father had one of those cars, and he was 5 or 6 years old, and he was the proudest kid in his street when his dad came home and showed that car, and he just wants to recreate that bit of his own past.
Classic cars are also about money, and when the show opens here next weekend, there's going to be an auction as well. Now, if you've got the wherewithal, you could come along and buy one of around 70 of the best classic cars. What you'd be getting to take home with you is not just a car to cherish, but it could also be a very sound long-term investment.
Classic cars have been a very good investment. In certain cases, they've doubled and trebled their value in less than 5 years. The Ferraris and the Bentleys have done particularly well. People have looked at them with new eyes. They've realised that they've been undervalued. These are top-flight cars that are very desirable, very rare. Cars that have not done so well in recent years have perhaps been the lesser cars such as Hillmans and Austins, etc.
The Ferrari 275 in the auction cost around £6,000 to buy in 1966 and has made spectacular progress in value since the mid-70s. It should now fetch £55,000. But what about more affordable cars?
Well, I think things such as Austin Healey's, TR3s, little frog-eyed Sprites, these cars are very, very popular. They're within the price range of a lot of professional people, men in their 40s, early 50s, that lusted after these cars perhaps in the 50s and 60s but couldn't afford them, and now are in the position to buy them and are doing so.
TR4s in restored condition have made good progress in recent years. They cost £1,000 new and were fairly cheap in the 70s. By 1980, however, they were rising in value, and although the one we've seen isn't for sale, similar examples can now fetch around £5,000. But are today's new cars going to be classics?
Very few. Most modern cars are mass-produced. They're made out of injection mouldings, have a high degree of electronics in them. 30 years from now, when all the parts are obsolete, people won't be able to tinker with them in their own garages and play with them and make them work, which is a major part of looking after these cars.